What's up, YouTube? I'm Scotty B, and people have asked me how I fillet my fish when I catch them, complete boneless fillets. And in this video, I'm going to show you just how to fillet a walleye. This is a freshly caught walleye, 17 inches in length, and I'm going to show you how to make a completely boneless fillet. So, if you will. Now the first thing you want to do is you take the walleye, you put them upright like that, belly down, and you want to have a real sharp knife. These are good, you can get them at Walmart, they're like close to 20 bucks. This is made by Rapala. It's a very sharp fillet knife. It's flexible, you want to make sure the knife is flexible, so when you're cutting into the fillet you can maneuver around the bones like you want to, and take the fillet right off the skin. So the first thing you do is you start at the top of the head, right where the bone ends, and you insert your knife right down, and you put the tip into his spine. As soon as you reach his spine, you follow the knife all the way down, running along side of the top of his dorsal fin, and with the tip of your knife you're going to feel the spine, and you're going to make little up and down movements with your fillet knife, and you're going to do this all the way down to his tail, feeling the spine as you go all the way down. And then again, on the other side of the dorsal fin, you're going to do the same. Notice my knife's behind on the other side. And you're cutting straight down, tip of the knife touching the spine, and you're going to follow the spine all the way back to his tail. Next, you're going to flip him over on his side, and his little fin right here, you're going to hold it back, and you're going to make a cut at an angle, 45-degree angle towards his head, behind the gill, and you go right down until you feel his bone. And tip him up. Again, the other side, the same angle, cutting at a 45-degree angle behind his fin, right to the bone. Now, with your fingers in there, you're going to take the tip of your knife. You got to make sure it's real sharp for this. You're going to spread the meat apart, and you're going to take the tip of the knife and you're going to gently go until you feel his rib cage, while separating his meat from the rib cage. You're going to slowly drag the knife across it, cutting the fillet away from the ribs. And you get right down to the bottom. I should have sharpened my knife a little bit before this, but it's cutting okay. Now you're going to do this all the way down to the bottom of his rib cage. Well, I should say right about here. You're going to do this See that? That's the fish butthole. You're gonna go right about here and you're gonna stop. What you're gonna do is, at that point, take your knife on the side of the spine and you're gonna push it down. You're gonna go straight through the fish, out of the bottom. You can run this out the bottom, and while pushing down, you're going to run the blade along the rib, along the spine. This is where the flex comes in handy. You're going to feel the spine of the fish as you cut, pushing down. You're going to follow it all the way down to the tail, right off. And then finish what you started here, putting the meat away from the rib cage. There you have one fillet. Now this fillet, well, I'll get to that in a second. Next thing you want to do is you take the fillet, you lay it out like that, and you make, with your fingernail, you hold the tip of the fillet, maybe cut a little bit of the meat back so you can grab onto it. It's slippery, so it's tough. You cut into it just slightly, and then bending the knife, you're going to push down against its skin. Flexing the knife, you're going to hold the fish skin and gently cut the fillet right off the skin. And there is your skin. Now this is the cleanest way to do it. You don't have to gut the fish. You don't have to chop its head off. The carcass remains completely intact. It's the cleanest way to do it. You don't have blood and guts all over the place. And there you have a nice fillet. But it's not completely boneless just yet. I missed a little bit of skin. Walleye have something in the fillet called a Y bone. It's a small section of bones that come up off of the rib cage, and you can usually feel right where it is. You can look at it. If you look at the fillet, you see this pink line in the middle here. That's usually where it is. It's going to start up top here, so you flip it over and you'll feel it. Just feel with your fingers. You feel the bones protruding. It'll run about halfway down the fish. Right there, I feel them stop right there. So right here, this line, I know that the Y bone is right there. So what I'm going to do is lay this out, and then with my knife, I'm going to gently cut it out. Discard the bones, and here you have a completely boneless walleye fillet, ready to be fried, baked, however it is that you enjoy your walleye. I personally like to bread it in cornmeal and sea salt, and deep fry it in some vegetable oil. Best way to do it, man. You gotta try it that way. There's one more thing though. Walleye have a delicacy, which is their cheeks. I don't know if you ever heard of eating walleye cheeks, but it is very, very delicious, and people consider it a delicacy. Located right behind their eye. You're going to take your knife and go down until you hit his bone, and then you just make little saw-like movements all the way around. Like a scallop, like a sea scallop. That's how it's going to end up looking. And then you almost cut it completely all the way around. Take it and you flip it back like that. And just gently make a little cut. And you can usually peel it off with your fingers. No skin, nothing. There you have a walleye cheek. These are incredibly delicious. Very, very good. Very good for pan frying as well. So there you have it. Just do the same thing with the other side of the fish. Don't necessarily have to run through the whole thing again, but I'll do it real fast. Go down the other side, run your knife down his rib cage, separating with your fingers as you go along. All the way to right about here on the fish. Look at his rear end underneath. What am I doing there? Take the knife, put it to the other side, right next to his spine. Out to the bottom, and then push down, going along the spine. Right on out. And then you just finish it off. Really should have sharpened this knife before doing this. But there you have it, your other fillet. And like before, take it, push down, holding the skin. Can be a little tricky because it is so slippery. And there you have it. Take out the Y bone like I showed you before. You have the 2 walleye fillets, the walleye cheek, and don't forget about the other cheek. You got 2 of them. And then you take the carcass and you simply throw it out fully intact. No blood, minimal blood, guts, hardly any meat wasted. Simply throw it in the garbage and you have yourself a fish fry. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Scotty B. This is my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.